Welcome to the Fandemic Presents Alone Star Reviews. This is a podcast about the things you love and the voices that don't. Each episode, I'm going to take several movies, TV shows, or something. I'll read some of its worst reviews, then give my 2 cents and find out if I agree or not. All in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm the self-proclaimed, that's right, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome Bradley Butin, and this is Alone Star Reviews. And today I'm talking about three movies that came out this summer: Oppenheimer, Fast 10, not called Fast 10, your seatbelts, and The Little Mermaid. So right now I'm just kind of going through some of the best summer movies that have come out before we hit October. I got a couple more, so I'll be doing multiple episodes this week before we get into some scary movies, because that's kind of what I want to fill October with. So we're not going to waste any time at all. I base my reviews I choose solely on the title alone and have not read through them. Please forgive me if I mispronounce words. I normally no talk good. I will do my best to read them as I see it. Punctuation good, bad, and all. So, without further ado, we are going to jump right into everything. And this is a Lone Star Review 1 for Oppenheimer. So, first of all, I'm going to give a little bit of my thoughts on the movie. I loved Oppenheimer. It's one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies. It feels like a documentary, and man, if I had to critique it, I would say that was too long. And 3 hours is just a long time to sit there. But man, it is something that it's an experience in the theater. I saw it at B&B in the big screen, and it did not disappoint. So, with that being said, the title of this review: the worst movie I've ever seen in cinema. Oh, and you know what? I gotta adjust this a little bit. All right, here we go. There are many things that made the movie not as good as I expected. Poor writing, non-immersive acting, and most characters and non-stop ear-deafening sounds, among others. However, what made this the worst movie I've ever seen in cinema is, oh gosh, quick speak all words so quickly and move on to the next scene style editing, which made the entire film feel like a 3-hour social media summary. It was as if they refused to leave out a single scene, a singe line that was shot and just threw it all together with zero room to breathe. One fast paced dialogue with loud dramatic sounds after another nonstop for the first hour, like a book with no punctuation or paragraphs, set me up for not engaging with or caring about a single character. Linear, non-linear, doesn't matter. I love Memento, I love Citizen Kane, etc. Oppenheimer was just poor storytelling, speedy cuts, and loud sounds. I'm convinced the only reason it gained the extraordinary high ratings it currently holds is due to hype. Nolan idolization and people being scared to admit they didn't understand it. And in a short while, people will look back at this movie and not fathom how in the world it could have been so well received. I genuinely wanted to like this movie, but it was appalling. Wow. Okay. With that, my rating on this would probably be 8 out of 10. So let's see how IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes rates it. Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 93% on the tomato meter and a 91% audience score. IMDb was 88.6 out of 10, and there were 161 Lone Star reviews to choose from. So, do I agree with the reviewer? Not really. I don't know if he missed something or what. It did feel like a documentary, and I think every choice was made was a great choice. The acting was spectacular. Cillian Murphy, and you couldn't even recognize Robert Downey Jr. till like halfway through the movie. Like, holy cow, that's Iron Man. So I don't agree, but hey, it's your opinion, and that's what this is about. A Lone Star Review 2. This one is for Fast 10. Like I said in the beginning, Fast 10 should have been called Fast 10, Your Seatbelts. It was right there for the taking. You should have taken it. However, you didn't. You know exactly what you're getting when you go to a Fast and the Furious movie. I put it in the disbelief. But Fast and the Furious is like the John Wick movies, you know? Yes, they're awesome. They're great to watch. Are you going in there for the big storytelling and the real situations? No. It's supposed to be fun, entertaining. And you know what? Sorry, man. If you can't do that, then if you can't separate that, that's on you, not them. With that being said, let's go ahead and read this one. This one seems to be a little bit longer. So this one is called How to Turn 300 Million to Trash. And this is from June of 2023. First of all, I've never expected anything from this franchise than a popcorn movie. Even though it's a big disappointment, the latest installment, Fast 10, takes the franchise's descent into chaos to a whole new level. The plot is an absolute mess, resembling a hastily stitched patchwork of half-baked ideas and absurd scenarios. From the opening scene, it's clear that coherence and believability were not priorities for the filmmakers. Instead, they opted for a series of vignettes that lack any narrative flow or logical progression. It feels like the script was written by tossing random ideas into a hat and picking them out one by one. The result is a convoluted and disjointed story that leaves the audience scratching their heads in confusion. Fast X is also filled to the brim with ridiculous scenes that defy the laws of physics and common sense. While the franchise has always flirted with over the top action sequences, this installment crosses the line into absurdity. We're expected to suspend our disbelief as cars jump across skyscrapers, defy gravity, and perform impossible stunts with ease. It's as if the filmmakers throw any semblance of realism out the window in favor of mindless spectacle. It's a movie. Character development takes a backseat in Fast 10. The ensemble cast, which has been a cornerstone of the franchise, feels underutilized and lacking depth instead of exploring the dynamics between the characters and their motivations. The film focuses on flashy action sequences and explosive set pieces. As a result, the audience is left disconnected from the characters, unable to form any emotional attachment or investment in their journey. While the Fast and Furious series has always thrived on its entertaining and adrenaline pumping action, Fast X or Fast 10 takes it to the extreme that borders on self parody. It sacrifices substance and storytelling in favor of excessive spectacle and mind numbing action. What made the earlier films enjoyable was their ability to strike a balance between thrilling stunts and engaging storytelling. But this latest entry abandons that formula altogether. In conclusion, Fast X is a disappointing addition to the franchise. It's a messy plot, vignette structure, and non-essential scenes leave much to be desired. Fans hoping for a return to the franchise's roots will be sorely disappointed by this lackluster installment. It's a prime example of a series that has lost its way prioritizing spectacle over substance. Unless you're solely looking for mindless action and can overlook glaring flaws, Fast X is best avoided. Well, you said everything you need right there, man. So you're looking for a piece of art when you're just going for a popcorn movie, and this is exactly what it is. So unfortunately, I think you missed the point of the entire thing. So sorry, man. Let's see. My rating would be, it is what it is. Okay, like, did I enjoy the movie? Yes, that's the big thing on my ratings is enjoyment level, and so I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter gave this a 56%, and the audience score gave it a 84%. IMDb was a 5.8 out of 10 with 145 alone star reviews. So I think I liked it more than the normal person. So let's go ahead and move on to Lone Star review number 3. This one is The Little Mermaid. Now, my thoughts on this one, my family loved it. I did not. I could for me, the thing that they had to nail, they did. They nailed Ariel. Halle or Healy Bailey, I don't know how she pronounces it. She was fantastic as Ariel. Oh, so they nailed that. But for me, they couldn't figure out if they wanted to be animated realism or realism. And to me, that kept on taking me out of the story. And I might be the only person, but I didn't like Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I thought she was just over the top and just not good at it. I think the end scene, the fight at the end, it was like the poking the pill of their doughboy, and he explodes. So, that's my thought. However, I'll give you my score at the end, but it's not going to be as bad as you think. This one is called Disney Reaches a New Low. All right. With The Little Mermaid, Disney achieves the rare feat of making a live action movie seem less real than the animated version. The entire film is an embarrassment. In its best moments, it feels like a Broadway show. Probably its intent. In its worst moments, and for the majority of the film, it feels like a cheap SeaWorld show. The actors do their best given the cards they were dealt, but none is actually given a chance to shine. Points to Halle Berry for trying hard, but this is not the role that will make her shine. How could it? She finds herself trying to add fake intensity in the absence of any other option to do something with their character. One can only hope that she will soon be given a real role, because every so often in the film, you can glean some talent crying to be given a chance. Melissa McCarthy fails as Ursula, turning one of the best Disney villains into one of the most relevant characters in the movie in a long time. Javier Bardem tries to pull a more subtle acting style, but it contrasts with the style of the movie, creating dissonance, and ultimately making him look uninterested. Can't really blame him. I usually don't care about special effects much, but in this case, they really underwhelm, given the audience the unavoidable feeling, and they will feel really dated in just a few years. And adding to the feeling of cheap SeaWorld show that permeates the movie. Beyond that, the movie follows the usual Disney live action playbook, replicating every last line and every last shot of the original with a couple silly additions. As a member of the audience, you find yourself playing 7 differences with the original for lack of anything better to do. Is in this case, the differences are not hard to find. And let it just be said that none is memorable, which is a low bar for a film that swims in the such depths of low quality. Overall, my vote for Disney's worst live action remake to date. Pretty low bar considering the competition. Oh, wait till you get to Snow White, buddy. Okay. Um, I actually agree a lot with what they're saying, but I think they're judging it unfairly. But hey, that's your opinion. On my Fandemic scale, I'm gonna go give this a 7, just because I watch my daughters and my wife just gleam, and there's obviously something that they got that I didn't, and that is okay. And so, you know what? A lot of people love this movie. I work in a theater, and people saw this 3, 4 times. So let's see what Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb rates this. Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 67% on the tomato meter with an audience score of 94%. What does that say? That says people love the movie. And IMDb gave it a 7.2 out of 10 with 146 alone stars. Wow. Where are we on time? We are right at 14 and a half minutes. Hey, look at that. So if you want to follow me, you can follow on Facebook at The Fandemic, on TikTok at The Fandemic1, Twitter at Fandemic3, or message me on any of those as well. I'm also on Instagram at the Fandemic1 as well, I believe. Sorry, I actually deleted that. You can support the show. There are several ways to do so. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/thefandemic, and Brian and I will toast you or roast you on the next episode. You can go to Patreon and you can become an episode assistant, a producer, episode producer, pre-bench producer like Stacy, or become part of the Council of Nerds. Yes, you can be part of the con, starting at $5 a month. Become a monthly supporter at anchor.fm, or you can just go to PayPal and Venmo directly to at Bradley Butin. I won't say no. Or just share the show with someone you want to make a little more awesome. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review. And you know what? Tend to put out a lot of different stuff on the Fandemic because you may like something, and let me know what you do like. You can also order my kids' books, Leveling Up My Awesome and Stuffed Animal Night Forest versus the Dream Invaders on Amazon, or contact me for autographed copies for just a little bit more. All right. With all that being said, don't let today end in a why didn't I? And have a good day.